There's a moment that happens in too many doctors' offices across the world. A senior sits down, the lab results are on the table, and the doctor quietly points to a number, the creatinine level, and says, "This is too high." And just like that, the world shifts a little. Fear walks in. Questions flood the mind. What did I do wrong? Is this the beginning of the end for my kidneys? But here's what most people are never told in that office. What you drink every single day is either quietly healing your kidneys, or slowly making things worse. And for millions of seniors living with elevated creatinine, the answer to turning that number around may be sitting in something as simple, as ancient, and as powerful as a glass of the right drink. First, let's understand what creatinine actually is, because fear dissolves when knowledge steps in. Creatinine is a waste product. It's produced naturally when your muscles break down a compound called creatine, which fuels your movement every single day. Healthy kidneys filter creatinine out of the blood and send it out through urine. But when the kidneys are stressed, damaged, or simply aging, they lose some of that filtering power. Creatinine builds up in the blood. And that number on the lab report climbs higher. Normal creatinine levels for seniors generally sit between 0.7 and 1.3 milligrams per deciliter for men, and 0.5 to 1.1 milligrams per deciliter for women. When those numbers rise above that range, it's the body waving a flag, not necessarily a white flag of surrender, but a red flag saying something needs to change. Now, aging itself affects kidney function. After the age of 40, the kidneys naturally lose roughly 1% of their filtering capacity every year. By the time someone reaches 70 or 75, their kidneys may be working at significantly reduced efficiency, even without any disease. Add in decades of processed food, mild dehydration, unmanaged blood pressure, or diabetes, and the kidneys are carrying a burden they were never designed to carry alone. This is where hydration becomes medicine. The kidneys are, at their core, a filtration system, and every filtration system needs fluid to function. When a senior doesn't drink enough water, blood becomes more concentrated, waste products like creatinine become more difficult to flush, and the kidneys work harder just to keep up. It's like trying to wash dishes with almost no water. The mess just gets worse. But plain water, while essential, is only the beginning of the story. Because science has now identified specific drinks, rooted in nature, backed by research, that don't just hydrate, they actively support kidney health, reduce inflammation, improve filtration, and in many cases, help bring creatinine numbers back toward a healthier range. And the most powerful of them all might genuinely surprise you. That drink is barley water, and before you dismiss it as something your grandmother made, understand that modern nephrology, the medical science of kidneys, has been paying very close attention to it. Barley is one of the oldest grains on Earth. For thousands of years, cultures across Asia, the Middle East, and the Mediterranean have used barley water as a remedy for kidney and urinary problems. They didn't have lab tests. They didn't have clinical trials. But they observed, and what they observed has now been confirmed in research. Barley contains a specific type of soluble fiber called beta-glucan. This fiber does something remarkable inside the body. It slows the absorption of protein in the gut, which directly reduces the amount of nitrogen waste, including creatinine precursors, that the kidneys need to filter. Think of it as lightening the kidneys' workload before the work even begins. Studies have shown that regular consumption of barley water can measurably reduce blood creatinine and blood urea nitrogen levels in individuals with chronic kidney stress. Beyond beta-glucan, barley water is naturally rich in magnesium, a mineral that relaxes the blood vessels feeding the kidneys, improving circulation and filtration. It contains antioxidants that fight the oxidative stress that damages kidney cells over time. And because it's a gentle diuretic, meaning it encourages urine flow, it actively helps flush creatinine and other waste products out of the body in a natural, non-harsh way. To make barley water at home, the method is beautifully simple. Take 2 tablespoons of whole barley, not pearl barley, which has had its outer bran removed, but whole grain barley for maximum fiber content. Rinse it thoroughly. Add it to 4 cups of clean water and bring it to a gentle boil. Let it simmer for 30 minutes. Strain it, let it cool, and add a small squeeze of lemon, which brings its own kidney-protecting power. Drink 1 to 2 glasses daily, consistently, and give your kidneys the steady, quiet support they've been quietly asking for. But barley water isn't the only ally in this story. There is another drink that nephrologists increasingly recommend, and it works through a completely different mechanism, one that targets inflammation at the cellular level. That drink is hibiscus tea. The deep crimson color of hibiscus isn't just beautiful, it's a visual signal of the anthocyanins packed inside every petal. Anthocyanins are powerful antioxidant compounds that have been shown to reduce inflammation in the renal tubules, the tiny channels inside the kidneys responsible for filtering blood. A 2013 study published in the Journal of Human Hypertension found that hibiscus tea significantly reduced systolic blood pressure, and since high blood pressure is one of the leading causes of kidney damage and elevated creatinine in seniors, this effect is profoundly meaningful. Hibiscus tea also has mild diuretic properties. It encourages the kidneys to release excess fluid and waste products without depleting essential electrolytes the way pharmaceutical diuretics sometimes do. For a senior whose creatinine is climbing partly due to fluid imbalance or hypertension-related kidney stress, 2 cups of unsweetened hibiscus tea daily can be a gentle, evidence-supported intervention that works quietly, cup by cup, day by day. There is a third drink in this story, and it is perhaps the most overlooked, not because it's exotic or complicated, but because it's so ordinary that most people never think of it as medicine at all. Coconut water. Not the sweetened, flavored versions sold in brightly colored cans. Pure, unsweetened coconut water, ideally fresh, or minimally processed. Coconut water is one of nature's most efficient sources of potassium, and potassium, for the kidneys, is deeply important. For seniors with mildly elevated creatinine and early-stage kidney stress, adequate potassium helps regulate blood pressure, reduces strain on kidney filtration, and supports the balance of fluids inside and outside cells. Coconut water also contains cytokinins, plant compounds with demonstrated anti-inflammatory and cellular protective properties. It's naturally low in sodium, which is essential for seniors whose kidneys are already overwhelmed by the high-sodium modern diet. And because it hydrates at a cellular level more efficiently than plain water alone, every glass is doing quiet, meaningful work deep inside the body. Now step back and see the full picture. Barley water to reduce creatinine load and improve filtration. Hibiscus tea to lower blood pressure and fight renal inflammation. Coconut water to hydrate deeply and restore mineral balance. These aren't miracle cures. They are consistent, daily acts of kindness toward organs that have been working without rest for 60, 70, 80 years or more. The kidneys are forgiving. Given the right conditions, the right hydration, and reduced stress, they can stabilize. They can improve. Numbers that once climbed can level off, and even come down. The senior who feels afraid looking at a high creatinine number doesn't have to feel powerless. The body is always listening. Every glass of barley water is a message. Every cup of hibiscus tea is a message. Every sip of coconut water is a message, and the message is always the same: I am paying attention. I am taking care of you. That is not a small thing. That is everything. If this helped you or someone you love, please like this video and share it. One share could change someone's health journey forever. Comment below and tell us, which drink will you start with today?